They used to say a man becomes who he surrounds himself with. But nobody ever warns you what happens when you surround yourself with people who never wanted you to rise. I learned that the hard way, not from strangers, but from the people I once called friends. The ones I trusted, laughed with, stayed up late with. The ones I thought would stand beside me forever. Back then, I didn't notice the signs. I was too busy giving them loyalty they never earned. Whenever I shared my dreams, they treated it like comedy night. Whenever I talked about my future, they rolled their eyes like I was telling fairy tales. Whenever I struggled, they called me dramatic instead of broken. It wasn't that they didn't believe in me. They didn't want to, because my growth threatened the comfort of their small world. So they kept me exactly where they wanted, at the bottom, with them laughing from above. I remember the jokes, the whispers, the smirks behind my back. I remember being the one who always helped, always showed up, always made sure they were okay, even when I wasn't. It's funny how you can pour your heart into people who wouldn't even give you a glass of water if you were dying of thirst. One day, something inside me snapped. I woke up tired, not physically, but emotionally drained. Tired of being the clown in their circus. Tired of shrinking myself so they could feel tall. Tired of being surrounded by people who only clapped when I fell. So I disappeared. Not dramatically, quietly. No big speech, no confrontation, no announcements. I just stopped giving them access to the version of me they kept abusing. I stopped answering calls, stopped showing up to places where I knew they'd use me for entertainment. I stepped back and began working on myself. And that's when everything changed. See, silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. While they were laughing at the old me, I was building the new me. When you cut out the noise, you finally hear your own voice. And mine was telling me it was time to grow. Day by day, I fixed the parts of myself they loved breaking. I built discipline they said I lacked. I sharpened talents they pretended didn't exist. I chased goals they mocked until I caught them one by one. I didn't glow up to prove them wrong. No, I glowed up because I finally realized I deserved more than their crumbs. I deserved real friends, real loyalty, real love. Months passed. My life started rising in ways they never expected. The same dreams they laughed at, they became my reality. The opportunities one used to whisper about, they were now calling my name. The success they joked about, it wasn't a joke anymore. And that's when they came back. First, they tried to play it cool, pretending nothing happened, pretending they had always supported me. But the truth shows in the eyes before it ever shows in the words. I saw it, the shock, the guilt, the jealousy, the regret. One of them even said, "Bro, you changed." And I smiled, because for the first time in my life, I changed for myself, not for anyone else. They started laughing again. But this time, not out of humor. They laughed through the kind of smile that hides pain. The kind of laugh people force when they realize the joke isn't funny anymore, because it's on them. It was strange watching them struggle to process the man I had become. The same people who once bet on my failure were now pretending to celebrate my success. The same ones who called me unrealistic were now asking how I did it. The ones who made me feel small were now stepping carefully like I was someone important. But here's the truth. I didn't rise to make them cry. I didn't rise to make them regret. I didn't rise to make them apologize. I rose because I owed it to myself, to the version of me who stayed loyal to the wrong people, to the version of me who cried quietly so no one could hear, to the version of me who believed in others more than himself, and to the version of me who finally walked away. So now when I see them, I feel no anger, no bitterness, no desire for revenge, just distance. Because growth isn't about proving people wrong, it's about proving yourself right. If my success makes them uncomfortable, so be it. If my glow up makes them cry, that's their lesson, not my burden. I didn't hurt them, they hurt themselves when they underestimated the heart they tried to break. And if they're laughing through tears now, that's only because life finally showed them the truth. The person they treated like a joke grew into someone they can never laugh at again. Someone stronger, someone wiser, someone unstoppable. Sometimes the best revenge is simply becoming everything they said you couldn't be. And baby, that's exactly what I did.